T-minus CNN 10 minutes till you're up to speed on world events. Welcome to CNN 10. I'm Carl Azuz at the CNN Center. Happy to see you this Tuesday. The Middle Eastern country of Israel has just wrapped up its third election in 11 months. The other two, which were held last year, resulted in deadlocks in Israel's government. So the question is, will this election break it? Here's why there's been a stalemate. In Israel's Knesset, its parliament, there are 120 seats. A political party needs to have a simple majority, at least 61 of those seats, to take control and choose the prime minister. But there are dozens of political parties in Israel. No single one of them is likely to get that 61-seat majority in an election, so they have to team up to form a coalition to make things work. But after last April's election, and for the first time in Israel's history, no one was able to form that coalition government, including the party of Israel's current prime minister, Benjamin Netanyahu. So he called for a second round of elections. Those were held in September, and again, deadlock. So what happened last night? We don't have the final results, but all three of the main exit polls in Israel projected that a coalition led by the incumbent prime minister was on track to secure 60 seats. That's one short of the simple majority, and this same coalition secured 60 seats in the first election last April, but wasn't able to form a government. Still, Prime Minister Netanyahu called Monday's votes a great victory for Israel, and if a coalition government is formed this time around, the nation will avoid a fourth election.
Almost a year into the Israeli election stalemate, people in Efrat are anxious for the political fog to clear, and with it, they hope, a profound change in their status. It may not be obvious when you look around. Nice houses, good services, but these buildings on this land have been among some of the world's most controversial real estate since they went up. International law says that they are illegal, built on occupied Palestinian territory. But to the 10,000 settlers who live here, they say this is their rightful home. That's a disparity Efrat's longtime mayor is well aware of.
So Efrat is over the Green Line.
Which means what?
Which means that some of your viewers might call it the disputed territories. We prefer to call it Judea and Samaria. But it means that there is a lot of political implication to the result of the elections. But we know that under specific government, with a specific administration, things can go very bad for the communities here. And on the other hand, with a specific government and a specific administration, things can take a completely different turn.
While it is unclear what the upshot of this latest Israeli election will be, what is clear is that places like this continue to build for the future.
It's Super Tuesday. You might ask, well, what's so super about it? In terms of the U.S. presidential nomination process, more delegates will be awarded in today's primaries and caucus than on any other day in this election cycle. The candidate from each party who wins a majority of delegates eventually appears on the presidential ballot. When we produced this show, there were 5 Democrats still seeking their party's nomination. U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar from Minnesota announced yesterday that she'd pull out of the race. One Republican, former Massachusetts Governor Bill Weld, is challenging incumbent President Donald Trump for their party's nomination, though President Trump's expected to easily win that. Hey, we have a detailed explainer available on Super Tuesday. You can find it on our February 24th show. That's available at youtube.com/CNN10. 10-second trivia. Loose, dry, slab, and cornice are all types of what? Window treatments, avalanches, marble, or beach erosion? All of these are types of snow detachments, better known as avalanches. Every winter, there are thousands of avalanches in the U.S. state of Colorado. It's considered the most dangerous state for these disasters, and most of them happen during snowstorms or right afterward, according to the National Weather Service. The risk is much higher in the backcountry than it is at popular ski areas, but rescue teams have a number of methods to lower that risk.
Avalanches occur when unstable layers of snow on a sloped surface are disturbed.
You need 3 things for an avalanche to happen, right? You need a slope angle, and you need snow on it, and then we need a trigger. So a trigger could be a skier, and it could be a bomb.
So it's 6:30 in the morning and we're going out with ski patrol.
This morning we're going to be doing avalanche mitigation with the helicopter assist. So what we'll be doing is we'll be taking 2 teams up to the top of Palmyra Peak with explosives. If we can initiate an avalanche, then we're not going to be taken by surprise.
Mom, I'm putting on sunscreen.
Yeah, helicopter day is it's a fun day. We don't do many of them.
Are you worried at all about your own avalanche risk when you're doing this kind of work?
Yeah, you're throwing bombs in avalanche terrain.
So just be ready, like have your buff ready. Don't have anything like that can fly away.
Yeah, well,
You can-
once you can huddle.
Yeah,
down
why don't
here
you huddle
with us.
down right here with us?
Palmyra Peak, where they're going to be landing, is essentially an area of about maybe 30 square feet down. You won't actually be able to park up there.
You just kind of jump out?
That's right. We're going to get back on the snowmobiles.
Chase 'em up there?
You guys want to boogie?
Yeah.
All right. Those are 5-pounders right there.
Yeah.
There's a 5-pounder. We try to make sure that if there's going to be a slide on the mountain, it's initiated by ski patrol and not by the public. It's the key, to make sure that we're initiating the avalanche when there's no one underneath it and when we can control the environment and we know what's going on and we're not blindsided by a natural avalanche. So the backcountry area where we are is all national forest land, and essentially we don't do anything in the backcountry. So skiers that go outside of our backcountry access gates, they're doing it on their own public lands and on their own accord, and it's get in yourself and get out yourself. Avalanches in the backcountry that involve people getting buried don't often have great outcomes.
We just made it up to one of the highest points on the mountain in Telluride. We're at a place called High Camp, and this is where we're going to meet up with Gary and Kim. They're a married couple who have an avalanche dog named Lady B. We're gonna go out with them for some of their training and get a sense of what it takes for an avalanche dog to get out there and actually rescue someone. Gary and Kim Richard run the nonprofit Telluride Avalanche Dogs. They say dogs are the best rescuers after an avalanche because they can sniff out people buried in snow and find them more quickly than human rescuers. Gary and Kim's avalanche dog, Lady B, has been on the job for 9 years, ever since she was a puppy.
It's kind of the calm before the storm. And once she gets wind of either a radio call or, her harness being jiggled or something, she goes nuts.
We're gonna hide down in holes, and then Gary and Lady B are gonna come find us and then rescue us.
There we go.
Great. And the dog is your best friend. They're our only, one of our only means of finding you.
There's a new hall monitor at Lockhart Middle School in Savannah, Georgia. His name is Bob. Not much personality, but he's a robot, so he can wave, sorta, but Bob's main job is to patrol the hallways to keep kids in class. If he sees some folks breaking the rules, he'll get their attention. Bob's one of a number of projects here meant to promote STEM education. The others include electric cars and even an airplane. But it's Bob who has his mechanized on anyone looking to be tardy. He's a champion of cops and Roberts. He can't be robot off. He's got many years of experience, and if you're trying to pass through the hall without a hall pass, you'd better be bobbing and weaving, because you ain't bobbing and leaving without being caught on camera with all your tried and truant methods. I'm Carl Azus, and we're wrapping up our show in Evanston, Wyoming. Why? No, Wyoming, because that's where Evanston High School is watching on YouTube. That's all for CNN.